It's so funny. If you look at any interviews, any athlete,
Mm-hmm.
somebody who's chasing greatness,
Yeah.
they're never, ever satisfied.
No, I don't think you can be, because then if you are, like, even with photography, like, when people call me the GOAT, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool. And I might be, and to you,
Yeah.
but there's still a lot of people who are better than me. Like, Kim's probably, like, I think she just posted something. She was like 20 years at 9 or something. And I was like, see, that is crazy. That's what I'm chasing. I'm chasing people who, like I said all the time, I'm watching you two. I need you to inspire me, the currency lyric. But I'm watching people to be inspired.
Yeah.
So if I'm the GOAT to you, that means Max or Trung, who's the new up and coming photographers in the Bay Area, then they're the new GOATs. And I call them young GOATs all the time. Like, there's GOATs running packs.
Welcome back to another episode of High Value Discussions. I'm honored to introduce to you to someone who's not just an incredible individual, but he's also a dear friend and a brother. My guest is a man of many talents. He is an entrepreneur, a visionary photographer, and a content creator with a unique eye for storytelling. He is also one of the driving forces behind the Bleuprint, a groundbreaking store located right here in the Bay Area. The Bleuprint is a creative hub, a space where artists, innovators, and where visionaries come together to collaborate, network, and bring their ideas to life. He and his team have built something truly special, creating a community where creativity thrives and new opportunities are born every day. In this episode, we'll explore how my guest went from capturing moments behind the lens to capturing the spirit of an entire creative movement. We'll also get an inside look at the challenges he's overcome, the lessons he's learned, and his vision for the future of creativity and entrepreneurship. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Pierre Whitsey.
I would say I've always kind of thought I was different, but I think it really kind of hit me, or I came to a realization probably middle school and high school, like that gap when you going from middle school to high school, you kind of like, okay, who am I going to be as a person?
Yeah.
What's my identity? And that's kind of where I was like, okay, am I an athlete? Am I like this nerd? So there had to be like a balance. And then I realized like I do stuff a little bit different from the norm already, and I already hate like I said in the like older podcast, I was like, I'm not a person who's like okay with like society norms. So I think I did it like willingly to like defy like the odds and just be like, was it like anti like the establishment, and then eventually it just became who I am, and kind of helped like that helped me mold myself into who I am today, and everything I do is kind of like that. Like I don't want to do things the easy way or the normal way.
And I like something I've noticed about you too, even early on, whatever you're doing that's gaining success, you bring that along with other people as well. So it's like this is how I kind of evaluate you. If you're winning, the 5 people who are next to you need to win too.
Okay, so it's not necessarily necessity, but I'm going to hype you up or speak like good stuff into you so you do win. And let's say like me and you don't see each other for a year or so, I'm still going to tell you, Daniel, or talk to you like, Daniel, I want you to win. I see what you're doing. But it doesn't necessarily have to be with me, but I'm always going to, the people around me, I want them to win. So
yeah,
pretty much that it.
But something about you and what's so great about you is you always bring those people along with you.
Yeah.
But there's also, say, backstabbers. There's also betrayal that because when you're so generous, when you're so kind, sometimes people take advantage of that, unfortunately.
That's a thing I have to get used to. Like, you can't help everybody, and even if you do help everybody, you have to also know that there's going to be moments where you might not be, like, it might not be reciprocated, or you're pouring to something that doesn't pour back into you. So it's like you have to kind of understand that in a sense, and understand, don't be jaded from stuff like that. And like, it doesn't stop me from doing stuff. So like, I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. Like, I'm not going to change who I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I should, but I can't. Like, it's just weird for me to change, like, be like, oh, people are doing this and doing that. I'm like, okay, what they do doesn't define who I am. So like, I mean, I might lose in the end, like sometimes, but I can like wake up the next morning knowing I wouldn't change stuff and be like, okay, well, it wasn't, even if it could have been my fault, like just because how I talk and stuff, and just like how it might not come off away like you know me, so you know how I talk. Like it might come off a wrong way to somebody, but it's usually from a good place. So like if I can understand also if it's my fault and it's just like, oh, we just weren't meant to work together.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just don't be jaded about stuff. Like it's just life.
When you were talking about earlier how when you were growing up, you were thinking about, am I going to be an athlete? Am I going to be a nerd? Am I going to be all these things?
I mean, but I'm all of them in one. So like, it's weird. But then growing up, you have to, you're an athlete. So like you understand like, okay, do I want to be looked at this way? Now, do you want to be looked at as a podcaster?
Yeah.
Now, it's just like, who's Daniel? But you're all of them in one thing. So it's like, oh, okay.
It never leaves.
Yeah, no.
It stays within you.
Oh, and my brother tells me every time I watch football, like if someone's running a route, I run the route with them. Like just head nods and everything. Like, oh, get them off your get on your shoulders, stack the route. Like it's just little things that they don't really leave. Like
so.
So.
When I watch old rounds of me, like say sparring or old fights, I kind of do this. I'm like,
you're wincing and you're like, okay, let me slip the jab. It's normal. Even when I watch like old anime, I'll be like, oh, okay, this inspired this. So like whatever it is, it's like history teaches history. Like teach your history, teach yourself, blah blah blah. Like whatever in the past happens, you might see it or you're gonna take a lesson from it. So
when you said that your brother does that within football, do you do that within content and photography from other people's view?
No, actually, I detach myself from what I do like completely. I might like talk mess if I know you, like, oh, you should have did this, but it's like, hey man, you dropped a touchdown, so I'm not gonna be like, oh, I would have did this, or back in my day,
should have stepped there.
Yeah, no. I mean, now if it's a teachable moment, like if I see something, I might say, oh, okay, well, this is what the defender is doing, this is what the offense is doing, this is how you get around it. But I mean, I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I'm just gonna give you insight, like, because I'm seeing the defense seeing what you might not see it because you're playing. But as far as like that when it comes to content, I'm just like, I'm here to do a job. Yeah. And then build a relationship and like community. Yeah. And after that, it's like, hey man, you're playing now. I'm shooting. Yeah. I got my stuff to do. And now I might use them playing. I might use that to enhance the content. So like I want to show off movement or something more. But as far as me, nah. Yeah. But I am smart enough like to know like where I am on the field so I don't get hit. So that's the only thing I probably use. I mean, I got hit last year. I was hella bad. But
dang.
CSM game, yeah. I did the splits on the field. It was crazy.
I didn't know that.
I saw the video. It's great.
Oh, please. Post that.
No, I think I did post it, actually. I posted it on Twitter, though. Yeah, I was like limping for like 3 weeks. It was crazy.
You know, it's so crazy, bro. You have been known for photography around here. Bay Area's finest, pretty much, you know? Have you ever gotten tired of it, though? Like bored? You know, when you work on your craft for so long, sometimes you innovate and you grow, and sometimes we outgrow things. You know, I kind of feel like I did that with fighting, with my fight career, because it was a point in my life where that was everything. And then you kind of outgrow it.
Okay, so I can't say I outgrown it, but I can say I don't get bored, but I get like, it's at times it's oversaturated in a sense, but not a bad oversaturated, because now there's a lot of like new artists, new photographers and content creators that are really nice. But it's also like a difference in content creation. So where some people might use like super like transitions and edits and effects, that's not me. I'm more of a simplistic person. So like, it's not a boredom or like I'm tired of it. It's just a understanding where media is today might not be where I am today. So like, people might not see me they might not see me as much as they had seen me in the last like 3-4 years, because I've taken a step back. Now it's more like I'm doing things with intention, and I'm doing things that are not necessarily bigger projects money wise, but they're stuff that I take more to the chest. And it's like, okay, well, for Dean's example, I'm a Dean's alumni, so Dean's means something to me. So I'm going to do that because it's a meaningful project. The contract's fine. It's better than fine, but it's not about the money no more to me. It's not about me trying to reach every team like before. Now it's like, okay, well, I'm going to work with 3-4 teams and that's it. Yeah. And then it might minimize my like outlook to like photography and stuff, but I'm honestly at the store mostly now anyway. Yeah. So it's like I pour into everything that I need to, but I'm also understanding that like time needs, same way I put the time into creating this craft. Getting my craft right for photography and video. this store is kind of basically
Yeah.
my biggest thing right now. And then I'm back in school for photography anyway. So
Well, you've ever noticed that with business owners or people who have a particular skill, they put so much time into that skill, so much time into that craft, and then they venture off into something else. They build something else.
I think because it's same way with like fighting or anything, like you do something so much, and then once you're like, let's say you're master at that, you can now venture off into other things that this thing you mastered into can pour into other things. So like your fighting career probably helped you with confidence, stuff like that. Now you're confident on the mic, and it's all going down. It's all like trickling to other places. Like that mentality you had from fighting is basically kind of how you go into like asking for gas or getting gas. Like you're attacking that. So photography has pretty much opened like so many doors for me. So I'm never gonna like necessarily say I'm like, it's not something I'm always gonna do. Like I was doing photography before we walked in here. I'm going to school for it. Like, so like it's always something that's gonna be there for me. Like I'm always gonna be a photographer. Like even when I'm 90. Like so, I don't look at it as necessarily a job anymore. Now it's just it's kind of like something I pivoted from, but because I have other avenues that can also use me as like I do the photography for the storefront. I do the, it's like, so everything kind of works with each other, and it's like, oh, all right, well, and now I kind of I have a team, like I have enough people around where it's like a team. So like, if I'm not at Dan's all the time, I can send like someone like Isaac or somebody. So yeah, it all just works itself out, and then I just be here.
Yeah. But you're known for that. You're known for like, oh, if Pierre's around, he's going to be shooting, and he's freaking phenomenal at it. And then what we're in now, standing in this building, I mean, I came in here 2 weeks ago, and I was very impressed, and I was very, very proud of you. But I was like, there's a lot of us, bro, when we build something beautiful, we don't do this. Yeah. We don't pat ourselves in the back. We're not really, we see it like, oh, it's up, but
yeah, no,
we're still working.
I'm like that all the time. Like I mean, I love this place, and I love that what we built so far. Well, we're in the Bleuprint for you guys that don't know. But
give them the address.
1015 Lincoln Avenue, Willow Glen, right here on the corner. Yeah, so come pop up. But yeah, so building this was like, I guess I really haven't had the moment or taken the time to like be like, oh damn, look what we did. But because it's not just me, it's my dad, my cousin, Derek, Mel. There's like, we have a whole team, Gabe. Like there's a bunch of us, but I'm still like in the process of making sure we're doing it right. Like, okay, what are we doing for the community? Okay, how are sales? Okay, so I was just telling you how happy I was that we're finally on Apple Maps. Like, that was a task for the last month and a half. Like, trying to make sure that was right, even though like I was doing everything right. It was just like, oh well, this is the reason you guys aren't on it. So it's like there's little things that I'm still trying to make sure that we do correctly. Like, we're still in this, like we're still in the process of creating the community, letting people know what the Bleuprint is like. And it's like, okay, so in creating community, I don't have a luxury to be like, oh, good job, Pierre. Like, it's still like, okay, well, I'm not completely happy with where we're at. Like, I'm happy that we're open. I'm happy that, we can do this here. I'm happy that like right before we walked in, Pierre came in and got some shirts. Like, I'm happy with all that, but I'm not satisfied yet. And I don't think I will be until like maybe another year, like until like it like runs itself smoothly, like because there's still like hiccups, like as far as like merch, timing, getting everybody on the same page. But like that comes with the territory of starting a new business, especially one that none of us have done. Well, my dad's done it, but me, my cousin, Gabe, Mel, I don't know if we've all run a brick and mortar. So like I came from my room, which was my first studio. Then we got to the studio downtown. And then this is a big jump because now it's a brick and mortar where we sell art and clothing and just like a bunch of other stuff. You guys have to come in. But then we also have the podcast room. We have like, we're doing stuff where we do community like gatherings. We're trying to do art shows. So there's so much there's so many moving pieces still. So it's like, all right, okay, cool. Yeah. This is the Bleuprint. Yeah. We're trying to create something for creatives and just black and brown people, just people in general. But I can't pat myself on the back yet. So it's like, all right, even this, like, I was like, all right, Dan, we can do the space here because the podcast, because you love the design and stuff. So I was like, of course, I'm down. We built it for a reason. Like, this is what it's supposed to be. But again, it's like, okay, but we're not done. And okay, so I need to get shirts. I need to do inventory. Okay, well, damn, do we want rugs? Like, it's just little stuff like, so there's no time to put myself back.
Have you ever thought about this, man? It's so funny. If you look at any interviews, any athlete, somebody who's chasing greatness, they're never, ever satisfied.
No, I don't think you can be, because then if you are, like, even with photography, like, when people call me the GOAT, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool. And I might be, and to you, but there's still a lot of people better than me. Like, Kim's probably, like, I think she just posted something. She was like 20 years at 9 or something. I was like, see, that is crazy. That's who I'm chasing. I'm chasing people who, like I say all the time, I'm watching you too. I need you to inspire me, the currency lyric. But I'm watching people to be inspired. Yeah. So if I'm the GOAT to you, that means Max or Trung, who's the new up-and-coming photographers in the Bay Area, then they're the new GOATs. And I call them young GOATs all the time. Like, there's GOATs running packs. Yeah. So it's like, it's just a weird thing. Like, so I can't really, like, just be like, oh, well, I'm satisfied. Or no, because then when I get satisfied, then I stop trying, in a sense, or I just don't put my all into it, or then I'm not satisfied with something. Like, so then if you get too looking place and then I'm satisfied, and it's like, okay, well, now I look around and it's like, oh, this place doesn't look good no more. Yeah. Or it's like, hey, when you walked in, I was like, the floor is dirty. And you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. It looks clean to me. I was like, well, I need a mop. Like,
I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but it's just because I'm here every day and I see it, and it's just like, so if I'd been satisfied with the floor, it wouldn't have been mopped the next day, like when you left. So it's like, okay. Or even that shirt, like that shirt that you're wearing. At one point it was curved. Then it had some, like, the little accent over the E. Yeah. Then it wasn't going to be a tan shirt. So it's like,
it fits beautiful. I mean, I'm comfy.
if we're not always like trying to figure out or better something, it's just like, okay, we're just giving you something that's like half-assed. That's why it took me so long to make a new Pierre shirt. Yeah. Like, I hadn't made a shirt since 2022 or something. Like, and people went asking me, like, and I give them the same old, oh, you can get the regular Pierre shirts but now I got the new Kid Next Door shirt. So it's like, yeah. So it's just, yeah, man. It's just about knowing that you can always do better, I guess. Yeah.
And I remember our few conversations we've had before, you said if you weren't in a form of play, if you weren't a form of place of creativity, you're pretty much dying.
Yeah. Well, to me, it's because, like, so we talk about ikigai also, like, the just Japanese way of living, where it's like, always do something to fulfill your purpose, even if you're like 80, 90, you don't retire or something, but because you're always doing what you love. So if I, like, literally sit down too long, I think I might die. Like, literally, though, because, like, I have to be going. Like, being stagnant, I get, like, the jitters. Like, my body starts, like, convulsing. Like, I literally I get weird.
Yes.
So, like, even now, like, it's bothering me because it's like, yo.
Hey, we're working. Come on.
Yeah. Like, but sitting down, okay, I can do it. Like, if I'm, like, super high or something, I'll sit down and, like, play video games all day. That's different. But I'm saying, like, if I don't do nothing, let's say all week, like, I'll feel like I'm like a failure. Like, even if I take a week off, like, let's say I take a week, like, I've done that a lot this year because I can. But let's say I take like 4 days off. On, like, day 2, I'll, like, be, like, mad at myself and be like, yo, what are you doing? Even though I know I need the break, it's like, yo, okay, I should create something, or I should do something. And then once I start doing work again, I'm like, oh God, I don't feel good. I'm so tired. But it's just like, I have to go. Like, I mean, I hope it slows down if I have kids or something one day, but as of right now, like, even that's my dad's problem. We tell my dad all the time, you need to sit down. But I know that's my problem too. So it's like, all right, whatever.
What would you prefer? Other creatives that kind of give you that flow of like, oh, we're always busy, we're always on the go, or the people who kind of put you at ease, they kind of make you still, they kind of make you calm, cool, collected. What would you rather sit with, especially in this phase of your life right now?
Probably calm, cool, and collected. Too much work would probably be like, why? Especially because how creatives are paid.
Yeah.
Not talking freelance. Just like, it's a weird thing now because creatives are kind of speaking up a lot more about, like, just payment and stuff. So, like, I understand maybe 5-6 years ago what I would have did to, like, get in certain buildings, or, like, the work I've done to be like, oh yeah, I'm work 18 hours and it's like, oh yeah, it's worth it then. But now I want to like, okay, so you take a full-time job somewhere. Like I'm not gonna, because I'm never against full-time jobs for like a sports team. But if you take a full-time job sports team, you're not taking like a, let's say just for the season. That's a commitment to the off season. That's commitment to playoffs. So you're basically working probably more, and you have to know that. So like I like people like Chris who like. I'm always on top of people out. So like Chris. Chris, he is constantly on the go, but Chris is also like in charge of his own schedule in a sense. So like he just did the pre-Olympics. He did all this. He's flying around doing everything because Chris is the man. Yeah. 2 Emmys. But he also worked for the Warriors and Valkyrie and all the other teams, but he understands like there's a time and place for everything. So I like how calm and collected he works. Like compared to us 10 years ago at Pac-12 where we're like trying to do everything. We were trying to prove ourselves to networks. So like, I think if you're not overdoing it, but if you're kind of like killing yourself for it, I don't get that anymore, especially because there's so many more avenues as far as like, you can do TikTok videos and you probably make a living for somebody.
Literally.
Like, so it's just, I guess getting smarter with the times, I kind of realized like, okay, well, you can be calm and collected and still do as much work as possible. It's weird because I tell you all the time, you work way too hard, but I get you as a person. So like you working slower would be like the same thing killing, like it's like
dying.
Yeah. So it's like, I get that. But I like, if you've seen in the last year or so, I've slowed down crazy. Like I don't even post on social media no more. Like you might see me post like every like couple weeks, and it's like, before last time I was on here, it's like, okay, you got to post 3-4 times a week. Like, and on my board at home, it says post more. Like, but it's just like, now I post with intention. And if I don't want to post, it's like, okay, I'm not getting work.
Yeah.
And before I needed to post to get work. So it's like, I understand both sides of it. Like, yeah. But I'm also going to be like, well, if I can, I'm going to be on this side where everybody's calm. It's a little bit chaotic because I still love to work in like chaos, but it's not like gonna drive me insane no more. So
yeah. Well, one thing that I've kind of implemented is I pick and choose now. I don't take every job. You know, I feel like that's very, very unrealistic. I'm in a state right now where it's like I can pick and choose. Like this Saturday, I was like debating like if I should take this or not, and I just said no.
That's what I've got. That's what I got in the last year. Like if I'm tossing and turning, or I'm like, do I want to do it? Yeah, the money's cool, but anything but, I'm just like, I'm gonna stay home. Because it's like, then you're not shooting with your full intent. Like, then it's like, I'm just here for
and it'll come out poorly.
Yeah, I'm here for the check. Or you got to do crazy amount of work in post because now you're trying to make it look good. Yeah. Because you can always shoot and it's always gonna come out good in our eyes. But then if you're a perfectionist like I am, then it's gonna be like, whoa, I should have got this shot. I should have did this. And it's like, well, if I actually went into it with a good mindset and I knew like, okay, well, I'm not in the mind. Like even today, you're like, oh, should we do the pod? And I was like, oh, we're fine. Yeah. But if it wasn't the right mindset, I would have told you no and be like, okay, because I'm not going to give you the best conversation. So
when creators are, say, seeking jobs or seeking contracts, there's always negotiations that have to come into play. And I've noticed too within myself, every negotiation is very, very different.
Dude. Some are super easy. Some are like pulling teeth. And then some, you come to a negotiation and you kind of like, you guys figure it out together and then it blows up still. So like on the day of, like, you might have bridezilla or something on a wedding, like, or there's variables where like you can't control, like it's raining or something. It's just stuff happens and you're like, oh, we were going to get a discount, right? No. Yeah. We signed a contract. But then you're empathetic sometimes. So it's like, shit. Yeah. But yeah, so oh man, I got those conversations all the time. Well, Pierre, you said this much, and I'm like, yeah, but that was just for the photo. And then I was like, okay, well, now you want video, and then you wanted to edit, and then none of this was in the contract, so I have to do it off. Like, okay, and now you're just like, well, I could have got it done for this much, and then I'm like, okay, well, now you're not getting none of the stuff that I did on the side because it wasn't in the contract. We're just gonna stick to the contract. So yeah, that's another, and that's why I hardly ever do like handshake little negotiations before. Like,
and when I started, I did. That was an issue.
Everything gets invoiced now.
Oh, jeez.
Like, I mean, for family, I mean, I really don't care because just Apple Pay me. But for the most part, even if I meet you on Instagram, you're getting an invoice. You're getting an invoice. Like it's just there's no going around it no more.
Say if it's a wedding, leading up to a wedding, it's like, oh, I want you to do this, this, and that. And you're like, cool, sounds great. Then leading up to it, 2 weeks out, they're like, oh, can you actually do this now? Then you have to change everything.
Yep. Or now, oh well, I don't have a videographer now. Like, okay, well, this is gonna be my price for it. How much are you paying a videographer? Oh, this is my videographer's price. So, okay, well, if I'm gonna add another photographer or videographer, I'm gonna need close to that. Yeah. Or like, oh, I don't have the budget now. Like, okay, well, that doesn't. You paid everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need my payment still, or I'm gonna keep your deposit, and we're done.
Yeah.
Like, so. I mean, I don't usually do that, but I have.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just again, it's you have to know what you're signing, and you also, again, every client's different, like you said. So like, you might have the jerk client who like you're a little bit more like stern with, or you might have the person who's like, okay, well, Daniel, this is what I have, and you're like, okay, yeah, sure. That's the rate I'm going to do. And you put in a contract, and then they're cool about it. So then you're never going to, it's like, oh, well, it didn't hurt me to like do a lower number. It didn't hurt me to do a longer session for a low number. Like, because the person's cool. But then it's like, you get the dickheads like, oh, you're paying full price and I'm going to charge you for the extra stuff. And if you don't want the extra stuff, you don't want to pay for it after, we're going to just go straight to the contract. Yeah. And if you're really mad about it, this is legally binding.
Because we have a wedding next week, and we're doing like these little briefings to be like, okay, we have to make sure we have these talks within the, the wedding planner and the bride.
Yeah.
What do you want and what you don't want?
Bride only. Don't listen to wedding planner. Because wedding planner is cool, but it's not their wedding. Like
true, yes.
And at the end of the day, weddings and all that stuff, it's really, like I tell people all the time, like it's not for us, the men. It's not. I love it. Like it's beautiful. I love seeing us cry and shit. But that's just for them. And I as the photographer, I make it a point to tell you, hey, bro, I'm gonna get you and your boys and like getting dressed and stuff. But the dress, her getting her dress on, her with her mom, all that. I mean, yes, you're doing mom and you're them with us with our mom and dad too. But they're the one keeping their dress like for 30 years. Look, I put my dress on again, like 30 years, 50 years now. It's like. I kind of make sure the bride's the most happiest person at the wedding. Yeah. So, like, I mean.
Because at the end of the day, it's for her.
Bro, what?
You know
yes.
Come on.
It's for the family, but, and for him or her, your partner or whatever. But it's for the
bride.
Yeah. Sorry, dude.
It's the biggest day of her life. Obviously, it is for the men as well, but his thing is like, he just wants to be married to her. That's it.
That's it.
He wants to spend his life with her. But the bride is like, this is one of the biggest days of my life.
This has to be right. This is right. This is right. My bridesmaids are pissing me off. His groomsmen are pissing me off.
Imagine.
Everything could be pissing him off, and you have to make sure she's happy. Because if she's not happy walking down the aisle, it's like, oh man, if I walk down, my wife's pissed on my wedding, I'm like, I'm shutting this whole thing down. Who pissed her off?
Yeah. It's so funny, right, bro? Like, and it's crazy because people, this is what bothers me too about the whole negotiation process. They think it's all clicking a button, and that's it. But it's like the driving back, the time to edit, the amount of times I'm clicking on this button.
It costs on your camera.
Bro, it depreciates
3,000 clicks is we're supposed to have a new camera.
Dude.
Some shit like that.
That's crazy.
Like that. Yeah, every 3,000 clicks.
Have you noticed that too, where sometimes you have to explain yourself of why you charge what you charge?
I don't explain nothing. If you say you don't like my price, you don't like my price. I guess... What can I explain to you? I'm not going to, you don't go to like, okay, so everyone likes name brand stuff. You're not going to Gucci and Louis and be like, hey, bro, why is it this much? If I charge you $500 for an hour, that's what I'm charging you.
Yeah.
And you might ask me to break it down, and it'll be broken down in the invoice. Okay, so this is what it's for, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not going to lower it unless like you have a budget and I actually respect your budget and you come across the right way and be like, okay, the first thing you say is, yo, I have a budget. And I'd be like, all right, cool. And if I can work with your budget, I'm going to work with it. Yeah. That's all part of negotiation.
Yeah.
But if you just be like, yo, I don't like your price and I can go somewhere cheaper. Okay. It won't bother me at all. And I'll be okay. Yeah. Like I'll just literally go book something else. It might not be the same number, but it'll be something booked. And if I don't book nothing that day, I don't book anything that day. Yeah. Like I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where I got to with pricing wise. Like someone would be like, "Oh, Pierre, well, your price is too high." Okay. I have to pay for cameras. Cameras aren't cheap. Like you said, Adobe, nothing's cheap.
Nothing.
You have 2 cameras, 3 lights. That's not cheap. Rode mics aren't cheap. MacBook's not cheap. Electricity. They don't realize you have to pay for the electricity that you edit on, and you edit from home, so that goes. Like, see, don't get me started. Everything.
Being a creative, bro,
Dude.
is very, very expensive.
Dude, what? The store is expensive as hell.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what? And it's 5 of us technically. I mean, everyone has different like rates and stuff, but as far as putting like merch out, getting merch, like t-shirt costs.
Yeah.
Then you got to go to a printer. Then you got to. This is the studio. I mean, the apartment takes rent. I mean, the store takes rent. You got PG&E. You got other people in here, so you got consignments. You got like, it's like, bro, there's everything has a price. So it's like, okay, I'm not like, if someone says, oh, can you get why your shirts cost that much?
Yeah.
Okay, well, my cousin Derek's jackets from China, like he got that shit handmade. It's hand stitched. There's so much detail into it. So he's gonna charge what he wants to charge for it. So it's like, this isn't your job where you can negotiate. Okay, well, I think I deserve this much. No, this is what we believe we're worth, and that's, if you don't believe so, then you go to someone else.
And there's so many other people to go to, so it's like, go shopping.
I know your rates, Daniel. I already know your rates, so you're not far from me.
Well, I feel like within myself, they change within every person.
Yeah. Oh,
You know
I know,
what mean?
but I get that.
Within like, if I know where somebody's at, like their career, their life, etc., I'm like,
I'm not going to charge you
Okay.
what I charge a bigger conglomerate.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I also know your stuff's not cheap, so you're not charging no less than what you're supposed to charge.
But I will negotiate, like you said, like if somebody says the word budget, I will work with them if it makes sense for all of us. You know what I mean?
Because it's a win-win. I mean, of course you're still going to do something because as like videographers, photographers, you always want to capture those memories and moments. So you're always going to be like, okay, well, it's not what I usually get.
Yeah.
And it's not going to hurt the bottom line or anything, but it's just like, I can make that happen. I might have to do another gig, like, to make it work, but you're going to make it happen. So it's like, why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, budget's a good word. My therapist don't like it, but my therapist told me to get the word budget out of my vocabulary. Yeah.
Hey, I mean,
No, it
got
makes,
a point.
it makes sense. Like he's
especially, bro, when you put yourself.
yeah,
through
no,
a
he's like,
very-
oh, yo, Pierre, yo, get that out of your, or I can work with it. Like work with that. Like get it out of there. He's like, when you come to therapy, I'm not telling you, oh, I can work with that price. No, this is my rate. So I get it. Like, but then I also understand like I say this every podcast, like my friendly neighborhood photographer, like mantra, like it kind of like, not like a deterrent to me, but it's like, oh, people are always going to be like, oh, Pierre, you did it for this much at that point. Why'd you go up? Well, at one point I had a shitty camera with a bad lens and I didn't know how to edit. Some of you guys don't think I know how to edit now, but I'm honest. Like, I don't care. Like, but yeah, so who cares? Like, everyone's different. Like, so yeah, charge what you want. And I mean, just don't be ass in charging what you want. I mean, then again, you could. If you believe you're worth that much, why not? If someone's gonna pay it.
Somebody will.
That's the thing I like about it. Like, if you believe in your number that much, someone's gonna pay it. I didn't throw out some crazy invoice numbers, and they'd be like, "Yeah, sure," and I'd be like, "Damn it, I should ask for more." But that's because sometimes you're like, sometimes they really don't care because they respect the work so much.
Oh yeah.
So it's like,
don't you like that?
I do.
They respect the craft.
Oh, dude, I had people just, the invoice got sent out, and 2 minutes later, it was already paid, and I was like, bro, I asked you for something silly.
Yeah.
Like, but I get it. Like, shoot, you came in here and bought every T-shirt and said, "Don't give me a discount."
Yeah, I would be pissed.
I wanted to.
But see, that's the point of like, bro, yeah, you know, there's that thing where people are like, oh, if somebody has a YouTube channel, I'm subscribed to it. If somebody posts a picture, I'm gonna like it and share it, etc. There's actually people who will actually do it, and some who just talk about it but actually won't.
Do it. I try to, at least, like for your stuff. Dude, you post so much. Like,
I have too many channels, bro. It's
Yeah,
annoying.
like,
I need to hire somebody.
I have the same amount of pages as you, but like, I'll see your stuff on Twitter, and I'll be like, all right, cool, I'll get that. I'll get a Twitter retweet. It's not Twitter, it's X, whatever, but it's still Twitter to me. So
Me
then
too.
So then I'll see you on. You have 4 Instagram pages, 3, something like that.
5th coming soon.
Oh yeah, see, so you have more than me now, so it's nuts. So like I try to keep up with all of them, and I'll be like, okay, well I like this on Daniel's page, and I'll look and I'll be like, oh, damn HVD, damn it, wait, what are they doing this one? Oh, and there's 17 like reels I haven't seen, and I'm like, okay,
It's a lot, bro.
yeah. And then there's a new podcast like every other day, and I'm like, oh my god, damn.
My thing is, bro, it's just deliver consistency no matter what. Like it goes back to the whole personal branding thing too. Like, and I feel like even you, like every time people hear the word Pierre, they don't talk about this Pierre. They don't talk about that Pierre. They talk about you, Pierre.
It's so weird. They they don't even give me my own name. I'm Pierre to everybody. Like I just like Pierre. It's like, oh Pierre, oh yeah. Like I was in class today, literally.
Yeah.
First day at East Bay. I said my name. They're like, oh, you're Pierre. And I was like, God damn it, dude, I'm in class. Like, yeah, but it's like a brand thing. Like you have, I mean, talking out my ass was great, but now you have HBD, and then you also have asset media. I was like, I was gonna say AMP, but AMP's like that's like Kaisen and all them. So I was like, I don't want to acronym you with them. And then
No.
Yeah,
None of that.
Nope.
None of that.
Nope. That's a different. Nope. So yeah, asset media. So I was like, yeah, that. There's so much going on. So I was like, I tried to like I said, I try to keep up with all your stuff. I'm subscribed to your YouTube channel. I'm subscribed to you on Spotify. But there's so much. So I understand what you mean. Like, it's easy to be like, yeah. Or I'll see when you like 10 things in a row, I'll be like, damn, you caught up. Thanks.
Well, you know what's so funny? It's like, because I don't like to be on platforms that long. I like to post and ghost. But if I go on my Instagram and if I see there's like, say, 5 things on my feed that I follow, I'll like it, get off. Yeah, that's my format. Like, get in and get out. That's
my Instagram, a little thing they tell you how much hours you're on there. I'm like, yeah. I'm actually proud of myself, though, because my phone usage has went down like about 3 hours.
Yeah.
It used to be like 15, like 12.
But for creatives, bro, it's very, very hard.
See? Thank you. But shout out to the store, because all I do is be here. Yeah, so.
Because people force their personal brand of, I do this, like shoving it in people's faces. You did it very natural and raw.
Yeah. I think that's just how I do a little bit of everything. It's not, because to me, it's like how you show yourself, like, and everything kind of I do, it's an extension of me. So like, I'm not flashy, like I am, but if you have to like really know me to know like my flamboyant side, like even on the podcast, I talk shit just because we're on the pod, but you actually know me, like I'm a lot worse. And it's because I'm having fun and I know you, like we were talking shit, all types of shit before we started the pod, but I I'm not like to the point, even when like, okay, so when we decided to do this, like, store. It's been, a 2-year journey of getting it open, doing it right. But we also understood, like, if we're going to do it as far as community, we can't make it, like, this big, flamboyant, over-the-top thing. We can't overdo it and put too much stuff on windows. It has to be, like, a real organic feeling when you walk in the store. Like, yeah, there's art and stuff everywhere, but it's a like a welcoming feel in here. So like even like as far as color placement, I think like we're big on like this side of the wall has like a lot of like nudes and tans and browns, and this side is colorful. So it's like the blue is deep and it's like it brings you in. Like the background is like graffiti. Like everything has a purpose to show you who we are, show who I am, show you my dad is, my cousin, everybody. So it's like I can't just flamboyant and be like the Bleuprint, because it's not mine. I'm a piece of it. Like I feel like the Bleuprint technically isn't ours at all. I think it's the community's. Like that's the whole point. Like we're not here to. I mean, we could have did this, just kept doing it downtown, like selling shirts out of our like from the house and online. We all have websites, but to show people that you can really do this. You can come from being a photographer, a barber, making clothes, and you can literally turn that into like something physical, not just a t-shirt, a physical place. Yeah. So now you're sitting in it. We do community barbecues. We're gonna start doing art shows. So like everything is an extension of different parts of us. Like my cousin's into fashion, so fashion art shows. Yeah. I'm into art. There's plenty of art around here. There's art. There's merch with like slogans on it. Excuses keep us broke. Like everything has a purpose. Like even as far as who we bring into the store. Like that's all about creating community, and that's who I am at the end of everything. So like the name alone, the Bleuprint,
Yeah.
spelling different because it's not normal Blueprint, but
Yeah.
I wanted that to be kind of fly. But the Bleuprint is literally just the extension of trying to create community and create something that is a place where it's like a hub for creatives. Like, you can do whatever you want here. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to do paint and sip here, come on.
Yeah.
You want to do a podcast, come on.
We're doing it right now.
You want to do like, let's say, like, if you're into politics, you want to do like assembly here.
Dang.
You can do it here.
Yeah.
Like, the option, it's like the options are endless here. So it's like
Diversified.
yeah. So it's like now you can literally do anything here, and the store can be anything, and that's pretty much what I'm looking to do as far as who I am.
How you were saying you were naming the names that are associated to this room,
Yeah.
right? Or to this building.
Yeah.
How did you guys even come all together and align everything? Because that is difficult in itself, bro, because it is the hardest part, man. Because a lot of people are like, I like it this way. No, I like it this way. No, this color is better. No, this goes here. How did you guys even get this up and running? And it being in here, brother, is beautiful.
Thank you.
But it took headaches, scratching and clawing, headbutts, etc.
Mm-hmm. All that. All of it. All of it.
So but that's my point, though. Like when it finally came into fruition,
and that's why
people were coming
yeah.
in.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. Like just to see people actually come to the store, like it was all worth it. And like all the back and forths, all the not seeing eye to eye, all the iterations of people who have been in the store, because there's been a bunch of people in the store who were a part of it. Even just as far as like, okay, this is where the shirt should go. Okay, well, this is how we're gonna paint. There's been different iterations. There's been different creatives in here. There's been different brands. Some brands didn't work. Some brands were here for like a week or two. So it doesn't really so it's, to me, it's like there's always going to be collaboration, like collaborative difficulties.
Yeah.
So like if me and you did this together, we were not going to have the same opinion. And I'm hard-headed and stern and
Oh, baby.
and I'm
Me too.
I'm like, so if we're open 4 days a week. So if we're open 4 days a week, I might be here 2 or 3 days opening. So I'm going to be like, yo, dude, if I see it and I'm telling you guys this is how I see it, it's because I'm here the most. And it's like, not because I'm trying to like run things being the boss or something. It's because I'm here the most and I see like, okay, the foot traffic. I see people come in. I see this and that. But I also know just because I see it, my cousin, my dad, we might not all be on the same page. So we have to still sit in the middle and be like, okay, well, this is how we're going to compromise. And the compromises don't always be something I'm agreeing with. Like, I get voted out. Tell them. I get outvoted a lot. Dang, I could point out things on the wall that I've been outvoted on. And it's just what it is. I could say I'm a quit, which is my favorite line. Like, I'm done. I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah.
But I also come back the next day and be like, all right, you guys are right. And if you guys aren't right, I lost the vote.
Yeah.
So it's like, I make sure to always say it's not me, even if people be like, "Oh, Pierre got a store," we got a store. Or if someone's like, "Oh yeah, Chop, my dad. Oh, Chop store's open," I'd be like, "Chop store," like, or it's just because without all of us together, it don't work. Like I'm not barbecuing when we do the free community barbecues. I'm at the register. I'm not moving around like Derek and Gabe, or I'm not helping my dad with like Mel and Robert. Like everybody's doing something different. So it's like, okay, I might have raw opinions, or I might be like, oh, well, fuck, help. Yeah. But it's only from a place where, okay, because there has to be collaborative, like, what is it called? There has to be like some collaborative unity where even if we're mad about something or we're not agreeing on something, it still gets done. Yeah. Like, okay, well, we need to do this still. Like, and I might not like it, but I'm going to end up like, all right, if it's the betterment for the store, it's fine. Because that's, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Like, so again, like the headaches, even in the good times, like even if it's really up, like after the barbecue, I was like, bro, we fed 300 people. Yeah. We made this much. That's a win. But then it's like, okay, well, the next day is a Monday. Yeah. So now you got to do it all over again. And it might be, I think that Monday was really slow because I think everybody was hungover. I don't know if I was hungover, but I was so drunk. Still. Yeah. Told you champagne. We drink a lot of champagne here. But yeah, so that after that, now I was just like, okay, well, I might have sold 2 shirts on that Monday compared to what we did every day before. I was like, ugh, it's a waste of my time being here 3 hours. But people walk by like, oh, thank you for the barbecue, and I was like, okay. Or people would be like, hey, you guys need help cleaning up? And I was like, nah, this is like same way I was trying to help you set up. Like, nah, this is our stuff we know.
Yeah.
There were so many bags of trash in the backyard. Like, 'cause we have a backyard too. I don't know if I showed you, but in the backyard there's just bags of trash.
You showed me. It's nice.
Yeah. So it's like there's so much going on. It's like, okay, well, if you guys have to, and everybody has jobs, so that's another thing that's crazy. Everyone has a job, but me. So it's like, oh, Pierre, you have to be at the store. So it's like, fuck. And then some days I don't want to be here. Like, let's just being honest. Like, some days I just don't. One, it's because I'm still learning to be a business owner. Like, I've always been a business owner, but like a brick and mortar storefront where I have to get people in at the market, like, it's just a different thing. So it's like, you guys are working, so I have to, like, I can be like, okay, well, I need new bags, like paper bags and with our stickers on them. I'm like, okay, we need those, and if I can't get those, I'm like, fuck. Well, I'm the only one working today, so it's like I can't leave the store. Yeah. So it's like that's where you said the headache, but then it all gets sorted out. Or even if it doesn't, at the end of the day, let's say like a couple days later, I'll walk in, there'll be bags in the back room. Yeah. No one told me, but I'll be like, oh, there's bags here. Or like I come in and everything's like freshly like steamed. Yeah. Or like I come in and Gabe's sitting on the couch. Like I'm like, oh shit. If I knew you were here, I wouldn't have came in today. Yeah. But it's like, so it's everything, like everything has like its ups and downs and trials and tribulations, blah blah blah. But I kind of love the beautiful mess that we're creating, like, and that's the perfect way to put it, because it's a beautiful mess. Like, one day it's really, really nice and beautiful. Then it's like, okay, we're running around with chickens with our head cut off because we're like, okay, how do we get this? So when we made that blueprint for example, that wasn't, like I said, it wasn't the original color, but the ash grade did so well, we're like, let's do another color. And then we said, let's do it 3 days before the barbecue. So then we had to get like 100 shirts made before the barbecue, but we were also reprinting this shirt. We were reprinting the black shirts. So it was like, yo, we should probably do this better. But then, like I said, we work well under pressure, and I'm so used to sometimes the chaos. So it's like, oh, we got 100 some shirts done in 3 days. We can do it again. Not smart, because we have inventory in advance. But it's like the inventory gets done, and then the barbecue happens. We sell out everything. So it's like, oh shit. Okay, so now restock or certain sizes, blah blah blah. So just learning that, like, you don't want to overstock, because like I used to do that peer product, like overstock and nothing sells. So it's like, okay, now you just wasted money in a sense. And then me, I'm gonna give it away. Yeah, can't give away stuff in the store. I mean, I can, but it's like there's a medium where you give away free merch, but you also have to remember that merch you're giving away is gonna, it takes out of rent, it takes out of everything you need, it takes out of restock and inventory. Yeah, it's like so it's like everything has to have like we have to figure out everything. Like, and it's crazy because we're, like I said, it's only we're open for 2 months. It took 2 years to basically open. A year to get it right as far as the paint, like getting these pellets on the wall, like everything as far as, then we're like, okay, so we're gonna do black stuff, we're gonna do gray stuff, or so everything, like, are we gonna do a register, like everything. So it's like everything had to be figured out before we could actually open. And then it's like, okay, so what are hours? Then it's like, okay, so who's gonna be there for the hours? And it's like, oh, okay, then we had a plan. Then people get new jobs or they get like promoted. So it's like, okay, well, I can't work there every day, and people have kids, people have lives. So it's like, I'm so used to being just a photographer and a videographer, and it's like, oh, now
there's a new avenue.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, Pierre Whitsey go meet with investors. Like, oh, shit. And I'm always in sweats and stuff, so it's like, we had the councilwoman from,
get those slacks.
Yeah, I have them. I have plaids. I wear plaid pants. But like, we had the councilwoman from Willow Glen here, and then they're like, Pierre, get a picture. I was like, no, my dad and Mel can do that. Like, that's the head, and that's the head investor. Yeah. So it's like, all right, cool. I know my role, and I know I had been smoking and drinking, and like I knew I was working the register. So I was like, y'all talk to her and do that, and it's gonna be amazing, because I know it is, and that's you guys' role. Yeah. My role might be right now to go walk the room and have the VHS camera, and then get back to the register when someone's there.
When you you get in business with people.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about the what ifs,
Mm-hmm.
the this, the that, the that. There's a question that I feel like a lot of people don't get into, and it's what happens when we don't like each other anymore?
We don't work together no more. I'm very simple on that. We just don't. I'm very like, no, because I want to show you a text message that it was my text the other day was it said it's a very simple question answer to that, and that's all all it took for me. Like, we're not gonna follow it as friends. At least I don't want to. So the easiest thing is, if we're not really seeing eye to eye and we don't want to like fix it, we don't have to do it together no more.
Yeah.
It's that simple. You still can come to the store. You can do it. It's not even just store stuff. We don't gotta be like, let's say I was playing fantasy football. If you don't play fantasy football with me no more, you don't have to play fantasy football. I don't hate you. We just don't gotta do it no more.
Yeah.
So like doing stuff, even people be like, how do you do stuff with your friends and family? Easy. If we get into it, we're gonna be friends and family at the end of the day, but we also can say, hey, I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah.
Our brother Robert don't have no merch in here. He don't want to. Like, and we tell him all the time, put some stuff. He has clothes in the back room. He just be like, don't hang my stuff up. I'm not gonna force you to.
Yeah.
And I'm also not gonna force you to be here. Like, I don't force nowhere to be nowhere. Like, so that's a very simple. Like, my answer is that simple. There's a very simple answer to this, or it's a very simple way to figure this out.
Yeah.
You don't want to do it. You don't have to. If I can feel you don't want to do it, and you can feel I don't want you to do it no more, we should probably talk about it and be like, nah.
Yeah.
And if we don't talk about it, it probably will do itself. Like, we'll just grow apart. And then you'd be like, hey.
Well, see, you're very mature, and you have a very different understanding
old Pierre
of
would
it.
be like, we can fight it out. But then I hate all your people on your podcast because I got so many like stupid YouTube comments about friendly fades. Oh my God.
Wait, oh.
So yeah, so now I'm not talking about fighting no more. So yeah, the simple answer is we don't gotta work together no more. And it's that simple. Like, me and you didn't do a podcast for a year and a half. I didn't get mad and be like, oh, when the time comes, it comes.
Yeah.
If it didn't come again, it didn't come again. All my good podcasts are gone from your page. It was amazing.
Oh, I know, man.
I know.
Time to move on.
Someone was like, hey, I want to listen to your podcast and it's gone. I was like,
I actually still have it on storage.
Oh, well, see, but they went to my YouTube. They're like, maybe you should have screen recorded that stuff. I was like, the clips are still there on YouTube. I don't know if the
YouTube is gone.
No, are the reels still up?
Nope.
Oh, see, yeah.
No, everything's gone.
Oh,
I still have everything on
those
storage.
reels are gone. Those are good reels. Oh man.
Everything's in storage, my friend.
I
everything.
see.
I keep everything.
No,
That's
I don't
the thing.
care. I don't care. But I just thought about it. Like, someone asked about me. I was like, bro, what Daniel does with his videos is not my concern. Like,
Well, they're about to see another batch, all right?
yeah, and
People
it's
relax.
HDD.
Take
you
it
know what I'm
easy.
saying? Yeah, Jesus. But yeah, we're no fighting no more. So yeah, I guess my mature answer is the simple answer is there's a simple solution.
Yeah.
And we don't gotta do it no more. And then if you don't like that, then it's like, that sucks.
Yeah.
Because guess what? I'm still gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no ill will. Like, if you came in the store and brought your stuff in there and then you didn't want it anymore, or you just was like, hey, Pierre, I'm not making any money off here, or I'm this and that, or I don't like how the stores run.
Jeez.
Okay. Take your clothes and go home.
Yeah.
Like, it just means more space for somebody else, probably, or more space for the stuff in the store. Like, so it's not like, I'm still gonna invite you to a barbecue.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to come to barbecue, then I'm like, oh, he's mad. Like, see, so it's like, but yeah, that's Pierre. That's my answer. How would you do it? Like, let's say your brother was like beefing with you, like, oh, this should be the asset. Not your brother. Okay, don't have your brother, because that's funny. Because your brother, I would just take my cameras back. But let's say someone you met from the gym, and you taught him how to do everything, basically.
Yeah.
And he was just like, then you guys start beefing, and he was like, I should be in charge, or this is how I should go. How do you go about that?
When he says, I should be in charge, I would want him to kind of explain what he has done within the quarter or from the start when it comes to revenue, when it comes to clients, when it comes to negotiation, when it comes to sales. Give me a list and let me know what you've done.
And then they give you the list, though. And then just like, you don't, because it's all opinion based. So like, they might think they've done more than they have. And so they're sitting there talking about Daniel, like, oh, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And you have to sit there and be like, well, See? So that's what I said. The simple answer is to, before we get into all this, spreading across the table, if we have a disagreement or we don't want to do this no more, we don't gotta do it.
Yes.
Like, that goes to friendships, relationships, business, everything.
Yeah.
We don't have to do it. We have one life.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to wait. I mean, people swear I'm just always mad and like a bully. But I'm very happy all the time. So I don't have the mental capacity to just be like sulking all the time.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, it might look like it because I'm high. But yeah, no, dude. It's just if we don't want to do something together, we're grown. Like, we're not kids no more. We don't have to fake it. We don't have to fake friends and none of that.
I'm okay with say getting opinions from others or critiques that are very credible from people. But if I'm getting, say, combative or challenged from somebody else who's, I need to run this because I know I can do it better.
Or they have opinions.
I would just be like, hey, if you don't like the way things are running within, say, Asset Media Productions, start your own entity. Because I'm a big advocate on that. If you have an idea, why don't you go put it out there? You don't have to be associated with this.
No.
Why?
But see, that's the thing. People don't want to necessarily create new things. They like what's already working. Yeah. So like if Asset Media is working already, so I can start my own, but if I'm the head of it, it just looks better. And it's like, well, no, this is Daniel shit. Yeah. Without Daniel's idea of doing this, because your idea of Asset Media is completely different than my idea of Pierre Productions. Yeah. So like how you do media is completely different. Yeah. But it works for you. And I'm not going to tell you, hey, Daniel, this is how you do business.
But we still get very, very good ideas from each other no matter what.
That's because we understand that there's something. But let's say I didn't understand you, or I was in a way jealous, like the fact that Josiah did the cowboy stuff. Yeah. I could have took that and be like, Daniel, it's not your lane. I could have. Or I could have been like, okay, these a couple of photos are good, and this is why I don't like these photos. Yeah. But instead, I'm like, oh, shit. Hell yeah. Yeah. That's something that maybe, even with Jeremy and them. Yeah. I'd make jokes and like, hey, you stole my client. But I don't fucking care. Like, I can say that to you because you're my friend. Yeah. And I love Jeremy and Dez and everybody. So I don't give a damn about that. Yeah. Like, I told you, like, I was like, oh, you got to shoot them more. And then you were like, oh, I haven't done their Saturday service, their Sunday workouts. And I was like, oh, ha.
But see, my point though,
so
like,
exactly.
We are all, honestly, we are all used for something. You know what I mean? Either for photos, videos, interviews, podcasts, etc.
Everything, everybody. It's like you said, everything you can get used for this, you can get used for that. It's all a take. Like, and it's how you interact. I'm like, if you understand that, it's fine. Yeah. Like, I understand. Like, I'm taking something from you for the podcast. Like, this shows off my store. But I also love the fact that I get clips, but you get a podcast. You get to spend time with me, like you said, because that's what you want to do. Yeah. So it's like, okay, give and take, always. But now if you're just taking, yeah, then it's like, all right,
that's a problem.
Or just giving. Yeah. So it's like, okay, never mind. But yeah, no, that's crazy because again, just the combative stuff that in authority and just like the classism is of like working and stuff. That shit's stupid to me.
Yeah. Like we brought my cousin into this, right? He's within Asset Media Productions, but I also told him, if you develop yourself to a point, because he's still a kid, still in high school, but I told him, if you develop yourself into this different individual, you have new ideas, you have different formats you want to do, you have a different vision. If you want to chase your own avenue, your own entity, by all means, please do.
I don't even know what Parsa is doing right now, but I'm proud of him. Like, Parsa shot for 2 years for me. I'm so proud of Parsa. But I know he was like, okay, well, I'm going to finish school. And I know that's a big thing for him, like getting his schooling. And I hit him. I was like, hey, bro, if you're ever available, I'm still going to use you. Yeah. But I understand, like, if you're not into this like as much as you were at one point. I get it. Like you said, your cousin's younger, so he might love this now. He might love the paychecks now, and it's something to do right now where you're in high school, college, making money. You get to college, start drinking, finding who you are.
Vision changes.
Yeah, so you might, this was cool. Yeah. Like, it's fine. Yeah. So, this is weird, man.
It's all crazy.
It's just crazy. Like, I don't know, man. Just live your life. Like, and just make simple decisions and if it's not in your heart, it's not in your heart. Like,
Yeah.
and that's how, honestly, that's how, if I have a weird gut feeling about it, I just don't do it no more.
I feel like that's why you stayed in business for so long. You remained an entrepreneur for so long because you just stayed to your roots.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's like a number one rule of business is to stay in business. And bro, I would
We
want
have
to.
okay, so starting September, we're having a monthly so we have the monthly barbecue on Sundays, like end of the month. But we're gonna do like the second Saturday or something.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a party or like a little, just like a get together on the Saturdays, just for being open another month. Like,
I like that.
it's called Saturday Blues. Yeah.
That's sick.
So we're open another month. Let's have a glass of champagne or something.
Yeah.
And it's not even about those days, like the barbecue and the Saturday Blues. They're not about necessarily making a profit. It's the community aspect. Like, hey man, you guys help us keep the doors open for another month. So here's some free food. Here's a beer or something.
Yeah.
Like, or we might just like some Saturday Blues. We might do like DJs and just a vibe. Like, just come kick it with us. Like, so it's like, it's not all about. See, the world is so like money hungry and everything is like about money. So it's like, oh, people tell me all the time, Pierre, dude. I think I was arguing with somebody. They're like, oh, Pierre, you need to make like, you're so weird about money. I was like, yeah, bro, I make money to spend it. Like, I'm not gonna die with it. Someone was like, you should save, and I was like, okay, like, all right, like no bullshit. On my board it says save like 10,000 for the year, blah blah. I be getting there and it be sitting in my bank account. And I'd be like. Right.
It looks better spent.
Yeah, like, dude, what? Like, even like, it's the weirdest thing because right now I probably have that in my account, but it's like, I want a new camera. I just paid for school. I want to go back to Japan. So it's like, and of course I can make like a job. I can make a job to make that money to go to Japan or something. But it's like, then I'm working. Like, I don't want to work in Japan. Like. So it's like, it's a weird conundrum of life. So,
and bro, being involved into business and entrepreneur for so long, what are some of the things that it gave you?
Freedom. That's one of them. Because again, like I said, the money thing is, I'm free to spend my money.
Yeah.
I'm free to save my money. I'm free to work enough to, I know, like I say it all the time, I haven't actually worked 9 to 5 in San Jose in like 5-6 years. So it's like, I think it's that long. I don't know. But the freedom to not only create the store, create, my life and just in general, but I can go back to school. Got my, like, since the last time we talked, I got an AA. Now I'm working on my bachelor's. But just freedom and just, honestly, it's allowed me to really interact with people and meet people, because that camera is like, it's so simple for me to like pick a camera up and then take a picture of you, and now we're chopping it up, and now we're cool, and now we're like, oh man, come to my party, like, oh my kid, I got a daughter, like, oh, come to my kid's party, like, oh Pierre, you want to just kick it, like, and people come literally to the store and they sit on the couch and just fall asleep during like hours, and I might tell you to wake up and be like, hey bro, like, I'm about to close or something, or like, hey, you shouldn't be sleeping while people are here.
Yeah.
Or like we're going on, but it's like, again, it's the community space where like they can come here and just get lost in like the moment. Like, if I'm really cool with you, you can go sit in the back and kick it, do your home. Like, people have kicked in the back and just kicked it back there for hours, like while I'm working a store. Like, so it's like, that's all that's about to me. Like, just making sure I'm free and like I can just do and live how I want, but I also know like that it kind of like I had to get here, like, so it was a lot of hard work and everything. So really, freedom, and then just the ability to connect with people. So that's what's entrepreneurial in the last, what year are we in?
2024.
Damn. So yeah, 6 years. 6 years of I mean, technically I started in 2017, but 2018 to now, I haven't had a job.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
Insane. Wow. Brother, I have 2 more questions.
Two more.
2 more. This question is, if this was your podcast, High Value Discussions, hosted by Pierre, and if there was one question that you had for me, what would it be?
So, High Value Discussions, was it, did you change because of the guests you were starting to get grew, or did you change because not that you didn't believe in that podcast was gonna be bigger, but do you feel like you as a person, that show was kind of minimizing who you are? Because in a sense, you got your shit off like you do in here, like, and it's very like professional and polished, but there was not like a trivial like kiddie part of that, but it was literally, we could say what we like now that I can't say what we want here, but it was more of an expected thing kind of, just because how the podcast is named. So it was like, and you being more like polished and button uppy, that's funny, but you being the complete opposite of me when it comes to like outer appearance. It was perfect podcast for me, but I feel like your new guest, that's the perfect lane for now. You can literally, the conversations and discussions are the same in a sense, but because now you're still guiding them, but now they're elevated. So is there a reason? Was there a reason behind that?
For sure. I think when I started to get the reps in within the other podcast, I was able to get bigger guests.
I think old lady, the older lady with the white hair, white lady.
For high value?
Yeah. Oh, was it high value or was it? I think it was, speaking of my ass.
Yeah.
She's your like mom's neighbor or something.
Yes.
But see, those podcasts is when I like realized you had a bigger calling.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, him sticking around with us down here is gonna fucking ruin Daniel, because I can see where this thing is going. So that's what I was asking you. Like, was there a change in podcasts for a reason?
There was a change in trajectory for myself because I've always was in this entrepreneurial mindset. I also wanted to sit with those kind of people strictly. Like you've been in business for so long and you've been an entrepreneur for so long. And every time we get together, it's always value. What is this podcast called? High value discussions. Whoever comes on here is very high valuable to me. When I started this podcast, even to this day, I still had no idea of who I would be able to get on. I didn't know I was going to sit beside a venture capitalist. I didn't know I was going to sit beside a senior vice president for a public traded company.
I can't even listen to these. I'd be like, dog.
No, bro. I felt dumb being there.
No. I feel dumb watching them because. Okay, so again, you speak like I'm very intelligent, but how I talk and just how my manners is, you might not think it. I don't care.
No, you speak good.
No, I know, but if you just how I come off sometimes, like I'm just like not arrogant, but I'm just like and I just how I speak with no filter. But you like everything is like it's said for a reason. Even though everything I say is for a reason too, but I'm just Pierre and I say shit just to say it.
Well, the host has to dictate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you're so well at doing that. So I seen the transition. I was like I love your group of friends, Tristan and them.
Yeah.
I could never do a podcast with them because your podcast would not come out. We would be acting an ass, and they are awesome.
Oh my god, they're the best.
But I understood. Okay, you can't have not even taking shots or anything because I love those podcasts. But I understood you have to separate me, Tristan, and all them versus these venture
venture capitalists.
Venture capitalists. There you go. So we had to be separated.
Yeah.
Now I didn't say at first you should keep both.
Yeah.
But I understand you can't pour into both the same.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was just more leading to a different route of something that I want to touch. Because like when I was sitting with the venture capitalists in particular, I was like, okay, I'm going to start getting into specific doors. Yeah. And if people look me up, what are they going to find? Daniel Gonzalez has and owns High Value Discussions, Asset Media Productions. Yeah. He also has Talking On My Ass podcast. What
See,
is this?
And the thing about what is different to me is the face you make is I see it as a value thing. It's like, okay, I'm good on both sides of the street.
Yeah.
But I understand you're trying to look at your followers. I told you, like, bro, in a couple months you have 15,000 followers on one pod versus 300, 400 people. So it's like, I get it.
Bro, I've had Talking On My Ass for almost 3 years. Yeah. That stayed at like 1,800.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't had High Value for a year, and it's already at
more followers than me. I know. I was like, oh shit, he got followers.
But that's why I was like, I am hitting a particular set of people,
and that's the audience you want to stay at. So that's why my question was like, yo, was there a particular reason? And it makes sense.
But my brother,
wait, you have one more?
My very last
Oh,
question.
I was like, wait, you have one more. Don't.
One more
I
question.
was like, my brother, wait.
Since you have been in this particular niche for so long,
Mm-hmm.
you have so much experience of your belt. You bring so much value to the community and to the people around you. But if somebody was particular in starting the venture of photography, of entrepreneurship, of business, and that one little kid was scratching and pulling on your shirt, asking for guidance, what would you tell him?
Same thing I tell them all the time. I get this question all the time, literally. Like, yo, Pierre. First, it's always, what camera do I have to buy? Which is crazy. But so last time you asked me this, I was like, this was a talking on my ass podcast question. But it was, my last answer was find your niche and kind of like master that and all that stuff. But this time, I would say build a team. That doesn't necessarily mean a bunch of photographers and stuff, but build a team of people you can go to for ideas, or people you can like confide in. Like, so let's say you're having a hard day or you're not necessarily where you want to be. You have a team of like people who could speak into you and pour into you while you're not where you want to be. So you're not literally killing yourself and beating yourself up over not being where you're at or not being where someone else is at. So like find your team and find that like support system, but also don't look at others for like, yes, they're inspiration, but don't look at to be them. Like we can always get shots that are similar, but we're never going to be the same photographer. We're not going to see the same thing. We're not going to be the same entrepreneur. We're not going to run the same businesses. But if you can find your lane and understand what you're doing, just do it your way, and take pieces from people, but create it into who you are. And then that's pretty much it. And that's your blueprint.
My brother, are there any closing statements for the podcast?
Stop by the Bleuprint, 1015 Lincoln Avenue. Here 4 days a week. And yeah, that's it.
My brother, it's a pleasure as always, my man. Like I saw you 2 weeks ago, man. It was honestly a breath of fresh air. Seriously,
no, I was like, hey, dude, come to the store.
Well, even that too, like coming in here while it's been open, you
Yeah.
guys already had the barbecue. But bro,
Free.
this place has looked like it's been here for a long time. Like you guys already look like and exude that energy as if it's been here for that long.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But bro, keep being great. I'm so damn proud of you. I love you with all my heart.
Love you too.
You are my brother for life, my man. All right. Thank you all for tuning in to today's episode. If you got a lot of value out of this, please do me a favor and support our channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Make sure to hit that follow button on Spotify to stay updated with our latest episodes. And if you are listening on Apple Podcasts, I would greatly appreciate it if you would leave a 5-star rating, followed by with a review. Again, thank you all for the support. Stay loving, stay hungry, and stay excellent.